Henry Ruggs saga, Combs, right? So we know by now he killed a woman and her dog when he was double the legal limit with a loaded gun in his car driving 156 miles an hour. What we don't know is everything that is starting to come out here. And Henry Ruggs' lawyer is blaming the fire department of the Las Vegas for showing up too late and too slow to put out the fire, and that's why the woman died. The lawyer is basically trying to get Henry Ruggs off on this technicality because the fire department was too slow. Combs, what the hell?
Look, man, I know it is a lawyer's obligation and a lawyer's duty to do everything he can to get his client off of charges that are up against him. And I just wonder how some of these people sleep at night when when you can go and you can say, "Oh well, this was the fault of the fire department for being too slow to respond and not getting there on time to save her life." Your client was double the legal limit of his BAC. He was doing 156 miles a freaking hour, and he slammed into this woman. And then you're hearing stuff like she was heard screaming through the pain. She was still very much alert and awake while she was on fire and losing her life in this wreck. That I mean, to sit there and try to have a defense for this, to sit there and try to not have this man own up to his mistakes is just I just don't get it. And to be honest with you, I have zero respect. Look, I love David Carr. I love him coming out and saying, look, right now he made a mistake and he needs to have somebody in his corner. You know what? Absolutely. He needs to have somebody in his corner. He needs to have family. He's about to go through a very tough time in prison, but that's where he belongs, is in prison. And if Henry Ruggs is any type of human being or any type of man, he is not going to fight this. He is going to plead guilty and he is going to accept his sentence because he is guilty and he needs to accept his sentence. Does that mean he doesn't deserve to have somebody in his corner? Absolutely not. He certainly does deserve to have his family still love him. He does deserve to have his friends still support him from behind bars. But what he does not deserve is the opportunity to try to lessen his sentence or the opportunity to walk away from this thing. That he does not deserve. And for that, like I just don't understand how he can live with himself, how his lawyer can even sleep at night after coming up with such nonsense is beyond me.
Yeah, so I read the article, and witnesses say once the fire department got there, they didn't try to extinguish the fire for 20 minutes after they got there. So I'm no fire department by or a fireman by any means, but I do know that there are different types of ways to extinguish fires. Now, this was a gas car fire. You just don't spray water on it, right? Like you probably got to use some type of foam or something to contain it, because when you spray water on the fire, it's going to move the fumes
Yeah,
from the gas or whatever, right?
and at that, I'm pretty sure the fire department did not show up and be like, "Oh, you know what? We can let that burn."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there's a reason why that because look, I've seen firefighters in action. I've known plenty of firefighters. I was a volunteer firefighter myself. Their job and what they want to do is help everybody and anybody they can and risk their lives to do so. So for anybody to question their actions, I'm sure that there is a very good reason why they handled it the way that they did.
Yeah. So also on the flip side of that, those two witnesses that we saw on the side of the street corner when like all those pictures were like there, they said that they tried to extinguish the flames with a fire extinguisher. They said it was too hot for them to even get close. Now, as I know, people say they heard her screaming. Oh, well, let's be honest, guys. The way that car looks, the how hot it was, how much engulfed it was, she was dead probably within a minute or two
And
once
not
the
only
fire got
that, but
engulfed.
it could be too that you thought you heard screaming. I mean, that could have been anything. It could have been air coming out of the fire. It could have
Right.
been air through it could have been anything. You could have been hearing the engine on fire and the whistling in between the pistons of the engine. There's all sorts of explanation. It might not have even been the screaming
Yeah.
that you heard, but regardless of the situation, to try to blame the fire department for this accident and for her loss of life is just stupid.
So Combs, what do you think the angle is that they're trying to do here? Like, if the fire department would have got there faster and put it out faster, she would still be she would still be alive, so we don't be facing a DUI charge. Like, it
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It is like, oh, this person got shot, and it took the EMS guys 20 minutes to get the person to the hospital. That's why they died. No, you still get charged for a murder, like either
yeah.
way, no matter how
And,
long it took them.
yeah, and regardless, I mean, you're talking like, I mean, you were twice the legal limit, BAC. You were doing 156 miles an hour, which I don't care what road you are on. I don't care if you were on the highway. You're at least doing 90 miles an hour over the speed limit, even if the speed limit was 70. But since you're on a city road at the time, you're probably doing closer to 120 over the speed limit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, look, I'm a fast driver, Buck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've got the all state thing on my car that tracks where you go and whether or not you're a safe driver. All my lines are in red because I don't follow the speed limit. I'm on the highway. I do 80 and a 60. I do 85 to 90 when the speed limit is 70, but not 160 miles an hour in a 35. Not